All right, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to start this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Rule well, all right, and I've taught this word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the whole full elect, starting with 144,000. That's also pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right, I'm your fellow servant Amath. I got with me the elder brother Malak, and we're of GMS Toronto, coming at you again with another live lesson. Okay, this is going to be another edition of Doomsday Prophecies. All right, Doomsday Prophecy, because every prophecy leads to one thing: the restoration and establishment of the kingdom of heaven, which will be on earth under the rulership of Yahweh Shai, on down the hopeful elect and the rest of the Israelites, which will come by the way of the destruction and downfall of Esau, Edom, all right, and its capital city, which is America, aka Babylon the Great. And we are witnessing prophecy manifest itself in real time within our lifetime. So 20, a decade, anything more than that, anything more than this year, okay, as we're hastening the day, okay, doesn't make any sense in terms of when these things will play out, these prophecies will play out, because we're seeing way too much. We're seeing like everything's around the corner, and it's all being consolidated, okay, at once. And the scriptures talk about perils, okay, as in plural, okay. So, as you see the title here, tumults in the streets, and the sword within is sharpening. And the sword that's within, all right, that's sharpening, is that civil unrest. Okay. And the tumult, too. Let's open up with the definition of that word. It means the uproar. Right? We'll get that definition real quick. And then I'll give it over to you, Malak. I know you got something you want to open up with.
Khan. Oh, praises.
The word here, tumult. Okay. And it says here, noise, confused, disorderly speech, the noisy commotion of a multitude. Okay. A noisy uprising, as of a mob. All right. From Old French, tumult, and directly from Latin, tumultus.
Yeah.
Commotion, bustle, uproar. The scriptures talk about uproar of the people. Disorder and disturbance. Yeah. And it's a lot of disorder happening. Okay.
To be excited.
Yeah, you got to be excited. So, with the top of the title at hand, tumult in the streets, and the sword within is sharpening. So there's tumults and uprising and confusion in the streets. And if you can't see that, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about you. I don't know. I don't even know, because that's that's a blindness that's beyond my comprehension.
There you go.
We know that Israel, they are willfully ignorant. So they can know what you're saying is the truth. They can see the prophecy manifest, but they don't want to adhere. Ultimately, know because the Lord did not give them the spirit of faith.
Beautiful.
You can see all you want. You can see all you want, hear all you want. If you don't believe, it's not going to stick. It's not going to resonate. All right. And nothing will be done with that person in terms of reforming and changing themselves from the inside out. Okay. So, hey, count ourselves blessed to be called, and pray and pray and pray and have faith that we're chosen, because it's about to get tumultuous. Right? It's about to get tumultuous. But you got it. You got it, Mark.
Beautiful. Straight, man. In essence, if you don't know prophecy, there's no hope for you. That means the Lord has blocked you. So I'm going to go with Isaiah 19 today. I'd like to read 4 verses from there straight. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to read from KJV today. All right. So this is Isaiah 19:1. It says, "The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence." Right? "And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst thereof." So this is simply put, the final destruction of America. Right here, in essence, the final destruction, right? It's going to be touched up with nukes, right? But prior to that, what we're going to get into in regards to, the tumult and so forth like that, that's the beginning, the smoke aspect, right? So I got,
Yep, that's true. And, alongside with those missiles, ICBM missiles, is the chariots, as the scripture says, upon the burden of Egypt, right? Which that's America. "Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud." That's what the world today calls a UFO. Those are actually the chariots of the Most High, Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, and his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, which is Yahweh Shai. Those are their vehicles, the vehicles of the heavens. And it says, "And shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved, and his presence at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it." So yeah, just like those missiles are coming, right, alongside of them in them chariots, they're gonna get busy as well with the destruction aspect of America, which is Babylon the Great, as well with the deliverance.
That's right. Every idols and all its forms, buildings, planes, whatever, people, what have you.
True.
Everything will be wiped out. Verse 2, Isaiah 19:2, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. They shall fight everyone against his brother." Okay, going into the tumult, going into the turmoil, going into the disorder. And hey, we're living in that time. All right. Now it's going to get more. It's going to get more and more intense, and that's why we're here at Prophecy. And you dummies, who it's not given to you, just can't see it. You believe you got another 30 years, another 1,000 years. Okay, so I'll continue on, and it says, "And everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom."
That's right.
Right. This is going to extend This is going to extend to the four corners. The Ark of the Covenant. One second there, brother. I can't take this call. Yeah. Slacking. Yeah. Kingdom against kingdom. So it's going to extend, and I just want to say. 2 Maccabees 2:5. The Ark of the Covenant. I just want to say that Revelation 17:16, because you brought up prophecy. That's the theme, right? And you people wouldn't even understand what's going on in regards to Revelation 17:16, and that's why I'm reading here at the end where it says, "And kingdom against kingdom." But I will continue. Let's get it. Let's finish this up straight. It says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof." Right? You see? So there's the Lord has different types of spirits, right? And he's the father of the spirits. So the wicked spirit is going to fail, right? The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. Hey, and it belongs to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, by the way, and he puts it on whoever he chooses to. And it says here, I'll read it again. "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek the idols, which are going to be destroyed, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits," you see, and to the wizards. right? So that's what they're going to seek in the in this uproar in this time, which is what they've always been seeking, right? Wizards and familiar spirits, and idols and charmers.
Right.
And the
Sit on that.
Egyptians, no,
Oh,
one more.
Slocky, what?
That's okay. The final one, Isaiah 19:4. And the Egyptians will give over into the hand of a cruel Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and a fierce king shall rule over them. Say it, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the power, the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies. And you're going to see it. And that's why this chapter was opened up with the first verse. Right? The Lord of armies is coming to claim what is his, what he has created, right? And definitely whom he's going to deliver judgment with mercy, as opposed to no judgment. Excuse me, as opposed to just straight judgment to the Egyptians. That's it, brother.
Yeah, and then getting into that spirit of Egypt will fail, right? Because it will get the spirit of Babylon is wicked, and it's but that wickedness will increase before we see complete righteousness on the earth. It will increase. Yahweh said that what if the fire not be already kindled, what will I? So by the time them chairs come to add to the destruction and bring deliverance to the whole full elect of the nation of Israel, this America and the world will be at the peak of wickedness and evil. But the word there, right? Spirit in the Hebrew, Rakah, is yeah, Rawakah, right? And tells you wind, breath, spirit, but it also gives us here mind, right? And what has been the mindset of Egypt, present day Egypt or spiritual Egypt, which is America, is pride, being proud, right? And not just proud against the nations of the world and the Israelites, but against the Most High and His Son and everything that they stand for, which is righteousness. Okay, so that's what's going to fail, because once they see Yahweh roll up, all right, with the armies of heaven, the hosts of heaven, my goodness, even the whole full elect themselves are going to be frightened, right? But they'll still give glory.
That's right.
Look at that. It even tells us prophetic spirit. Look at that. The prophetic spirit of Egypt is what? Pride. And you can read Isaiah 47 in that for that. For I am a lady,
That's
right?
right. That's right. Sweet.
Yeah, so yeah, the point's made. Okay, so now we got a clip here. A clip that we're gonna get into. This clip here is from Arrows of Indignation 144. Okay, subscribe and be edified. And he already has the copyright disclaimer under section, right? The Copyright Act here. But I'll say it anyway, just in case. So, fair use, fair use, fair use. We're not sharing this video for money. We're only sharing it for educational purposes only. We're not monetized or receiving any monetization from this video. This is just for educational purposes only. So fair use, fair use, fair use. And he entitled this, "Hey Jake, this isn't your fight. Don't get involved with these protests in Babylon. It's a trap." But Jake's gonna do it anyways. Okay, Jake's gonna do it anyways, and it's prophecy anyways, because the scripture said, "Who shall rouse them up?" Okay, who shall rouse them up? So the Lord's gonna put the spirit on these Israelites to get involved in these protests. The only thing we have to make sure is being of the whole full elect, Yahweh said that we don't get involved in this, which the elect won't. Okay. Anyhow, so let's play this clip. We'll bring up some precepts.
Well. Look at what we have here, a civil war brewing in the United States of America. If only we had seen this coming, we could better prepare for what is going to happen next. We have individuals with long guns standing their ground on the streets of Minneapolis. We have multiple people being called to arms across the United States of America with an entire political...
And I'm assuming you can hear this well?
Oh, Slacker, clear.
Oh, beautiful.
class claiming that they should fight back against the federal government. They're not saying the exact words to go and smoke National Guardsmen in the streets of our country. They're just letting the people come to those decisions themselves. They're saying our Constitution is under attack. They're saying your freedom is under attack. They're saying that we have an insurrection already working inside of the United States of America today. I want you to take a look at some of this video I have for you. Start to put some of these pictures together yourselves, folks. We are very, very close to full go time inside of our country.
You're gonna arrest a child sex offender. And you guys are out here honking.
No, wait back.
You right there is honking and impeding our investigation while we're trying to arrest a child sex offender. That's what you guys are protecting.
Now, I brought this up multiple times. If you knew SWAT was coming in after a group of gang members, right? And you started telling those members, hey, SWAT's coming. And then you went up the street and you said, turn here, SWAT coming this way. And then you helped them to evade law enforcement by telling them everywhere that SWAT and law enforcement was going. You would be in a jail cell within the next 60 minutes. And we're reaching that point in the USA where they're not going to let people protest anymore. And what we're seeing is the left side of politics, whether they believe that they are justified and right in doing this or not, they're going to allow the ushering in of so much tyranny inside of our country that people will feel like they have no other options but to fight. And that's probably one of the scariest things that I have seen in the last couple of days. Speaking of that, some people are starting to catch on. They say a civil war is brewing right before our eyes. You guys watch and you tell me. Now, I am seeing a lot of plants. And what I mean by plants is I believe that we have government instigators working inside of these protests right now. And if by any strange track they are not aligned with either the left or the right side of politics, then you can bet your last bullet and Band-Aid that these instigators are here trained and being set out by a foreign government agency. Just like the CIA works in these other countries, their versions of the CIA are at work here inside of America.
Yep, exactly. And ultimately, this is a global plan, right? Because all these different presidents and rulers, which are controlled by the top elite bankers, okay, the banking families up there, they all have the same script, all right, of bringing about the new world order. Carney, all right, the president here in Canada, slowly stated the new world order, right, to make sure everybody heard it. And you've heard that term multiple times over the years and decades. So they all have the same script, but when you look at World War One, World War Two, and the many different wars before that, there was always a thing of political intrigues, right? Agents that were sent in to provoke civil unrest and war, because that's this man's MO. And we've been saying this for decades, starting with the apostles on down. Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution, right? What's it called?
Stockholm? No, the next one?
No, there's another term. It's
okay. Order out of chaos?
There you go. Yes. Order out of chaos, the water. Order out of chaos, which is the same thing. Right? So to bring order, all right, which is that new world order, you have to instill chaos, which brings the necessity for that order. Okay, but what they're trying to plan is a global thing. It's not just something that's sanctioned in America or this part of the world or that part of the world. It's a global thing. So they need to bring that chaos globally to the very height so that people will plead and beg for the new world order, which is the chip. That's the via the chip. Okay, so what he's saying is 100% on point, right? So this is I got a precept. This is Psalms 64, and this is also control opposition. You have control opposition. That's another term as well.
Yes.
Let me start at I'll start at 2. All right. So this is Psalms 64 and 2 NLT.
Mhm.
It says, "Hide me from the plot of this evil mob."
Mhm.
It says, "For this gang of wrongdoers, they sharpen their tongues like swords and aim." Oh wait, is this the priest I was looking for? Oh, you know what?
Mhm.
King James is actually way better, and I'm actually gonna start from 3. I'll
Okay.
start from 2. The King James, the wording is better. So it says here, King James, Psalm 64 and 2, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked,
Right.
from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." All right. So they always have counsels of how they're going to bring about the next stage or next step of their agenda. Okay. It says, "Who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words." And that's getting into the demonization of the prophets and certain terms that have been coined over the years, like infodemic. Okay,
Mhm.
all right, that's a part of them aiming their bitter words. All right, starting with the men of the Lord who are speaking the truth, and any other third witness that's speaking the truth. This man is setting up a stage where all that will be cut out. All that's going to be done, which is following prophecy, anyways. Famine of the word.
Mhm.
Okay. Verse 4, it says, here's the point, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly, it says, they shoot at him and fear not. It says they encourage, sorry, verse 5 is the point. They encourage themselves in an evil matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares
Yes.
privately. And that's
Mhm.
the agent provocateurs.
Provocateurs. That's right.
That's a part of them laying. They do this in many different ways. All right. But in terms of what we're talking about right now, civil unrest, that's how they're doing it with agent provocateurs in these riots. And like he had mentioned, we have the CIA over here that are agent provocateurs in other countries. Well, other countries have their own form of central intelligence agencies, all right, that are over here doing the same thing. Okay. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, "Who shall see them?" Right? And they're right. The only people that really see what's going on, truly, for what it really is the whole full act. The majority of
Mhm.
everybody else, the majority of everybody else is caught up in the frenzy, all right, of these snares, are
That's
caught
right.
up in the snares of the wicked. Okay. This is why you have people out in the streets. Here in Canada, you have this new militia group called the Second Sons. Okay. And they're out here with guns, just AK-47s, just chilling. You got the Black Panthers are coming out now, but these are what you call plants. Why? Because they're literally planted by the top wicked elite governments and certain secret agencies to forward their agenda.
Mhm. That's right.
NLT says
AKA
they
snares.
encourage each.
Snares basically
That's right.
beautiful.
NLT says verse 4,
Mhm.
they shoot from ambush. You see,
See?
in
Yeah.
hiding, right? But they hide in plain sight. That's what the agent provocateur is.
Yes.
At the innocent, attacking suddenly and fiercely. They encourage each other to do evil and plan how to set their traps in secret. Who will ever notice? They ask. As they plot their crimes, they say, "We have devised the perfect plan." Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing the cunning, the cunningness of the top wicked elite, okay, devise what they deem to be a perfect plan, right? Because the scriptures do say that the pride of thine heart has deceived thee.
The
They think they got this in the bag. Like Trump really thinks he's about to make America great again. He really thinks America's gonna stand as a superpower. Um, but he's being used as well by the top wicked elite to forward their agenda. Okay. And verse 7, it
Mhm.
says, but Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua himself, shall shoot them with his arrows. Right? Those are those missiles. ICBM missiles, suddenly striking them down. Okay? Their own tongues, and this is where you get the third witness, okay?
Mhm.
Their own tongues
Yes.
will ruin them, and all who see them will shake their heads in scorn.
One.
All right. And that's really where all this is gonna lead to. All right, because they're not getting away with their wicked plot of the New World Order and having a global technocracy via the RFID chip. In their mind, they believe they're going to do it, but they're not going to get away with it. And we're here watching with the director's cut, seeing the scriptures and the prophecy manifest right before our eyes in real time.
Beautiful.
Okay. One more.
I'll take it down.
This is Second Ezra 15. Okay. These are the times that we're in, so you're going to hear these precepts over and over again. Second Ezra 15:1. The Lord says, proclaim. This is in GNT. Proclaim to my people the prophetic messages that I will give you, and then have them written down because they are true and will be fulfilled.
That's right.
All right. It says, do not be afraid of those who plot against you or be disturbed by their unbelief. And we're not, because we're seeing what we're told was going to happen happen. So that means everything else that was told to us in terms of the protection and deliverance will happen as well, and the downfall of our enemies. As it says, verse 4, all unbelievers will die because of their unbelief, right? And so let's skip down verse 14, okay, because this is where we're at. It says,
yes,
the Lord, or the world, and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near, okay? And that's the World War III.
That's right.
But it starts with civil unrest,
Yes.
civil war.
That's right.
Race wars, gender wars. It says nations will arm themselves and fight against nations, other nations. There will be great political turmoil.
That's right.
This is what we're witnessing. Great political turmoil throughout the four corners of the earth, right? But the hot spot, so to speak, in terms of prophecy is America, Babylon the Great. With one group, right? The left versus the right. Everything's polarized, and this is all a part of the social manipulation of the top wicked elite that they've been engineering for decades and
That's
really
right.
centuries. Okay, this is a long plan that they've devised from decades, centuries ago. Okay.
Yeah, you read it there. You read it there in Psalms. Their great plans, and
right.
Yeah, none of it. I just want to add real quick. None of it has ever worked. It's only been to destroy, right? Meaning that the wicked is fulfilling prophecy by being the wicked.
Yeah.
Right. And I just wanted to say last point, right? In regards to one of their great plans, right? 2020. Okay. So it failed miserably. Well, I say failure in the sense that those plans were designed to destroy. The Lord allowed those plans to destroy the wicked. I'm going to be clear. The wicked.
Yeah.
Right?
But
yeah. The wicked. So that's what those great plans are for. I have a precept after you finish, brother. Finish what you got. So
because it, backing up your point, because it boils down to secrecy, right? Being able to do or perform these political intrigues they perform their agenda in secret. That's what it's all about. All right, and this is why they've been able to. This is why they took control of the media network globally, and especially in America. Okay, so that they can do what they do in secret. And now you fast because you go look at World War I. Like this devil's not creative. Everything he's doing now for World War III and the New World Order, he's done it multiple times before, and it worked because one is prophecy, right? Two, this started in the 1700s. You go back to 1776. The truth didn't come out till 1619. Sorry, 1969. Okay, 1969. So when you look at the math, they had almost 200 years of forwarding their agenda without the prophets, the men of the Lord, calling them out calling them out on their wickedness and having a spotlight on everything they do via prophecy. Fast forward to 2020, as you mentioned, you know, it didn't work as well as they expected to, and that's also part of prophecy because it says because he has a short time, right? He's going to come down with great wrath. It didn't work as well as he wanted because guess what? The prophets were out here exposing this devil in everything he does. Okay, but nevertheless, prophecy will be fulfilled. So, anyways, it continues on to say, verse 15: the war that will bring the destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. There will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control.
That's right.
While ignoring the legitimate government, there will no longer be free access to the cities. This is going into martial law. This is why they need to stir up chaos and get Jake riled up so they can, again, have a reason to bring in the troops, the martial law. And he's going to get into that as well in the clip that we have here. Because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. By famine, driven by famine, which is really, a reduced access to food. Not like as if there's no food, it's just your access to food has been greatly reduced. So you can't, that's really what the famine is manufactured. So driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. All right.
Straight.
Let's see. Slack. I'm just looking for a specific verse.
Take your time. Take your time.
Oh, you know what? No, that's good. The point was made.
Okay.
Yeah. You got it. You said you wanted to bring on a preset?
No, yeah, real quick. This was forecast before, so this is it was all forecast, right? Sirach 40 tells us this, and the emphasis I was making the point about these things were designed to destroy the wicked. So I'm going to go straight to the point. This is Sirach 40, right? And verse 9, I read 9 and 10, point is in 10. It says, death and bloodshed, strife and the sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked, right? And for their sakes came the flood, right? So there's a flood of nukes coming, right? Of course, there's a flood of nukes coming, not of water this time. Okay, and we can also prove that when you go to the book of Hebrews, it tells us this in the Gospels, the Gospel prophecies, which are prophecies. The Lord is not going to flood it with water this time, but He's going to make it rain nukes. But it was in parable. As a matter of fact, you know what? I don't know if you find what you got, because I can pull it up, because that precept was just coming to my mind. I just can't remember where it is in Hebrews. It's the 12th chapter. Let me get it. A second. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Well, we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it because I just can't remember the key word for that in Hebrews.
Was it on your precept?
Let's see if I get it here.
Malak,
Yep.
was that it on your precept?
Yeah, that's it on the precept.
Oh.
Straight.
This guy F's around and he's about to find out right now. He works in these other countries and being set out by a foreign government agency. Just like the CIA works in these other countries, their versions of the CIA are at work here inside of America. This guy F's around and he's about to find out right now. You see, if you spit on another individual, you are assaulting them. It's a bio attack. You might have some sort of communicable disease that now you have given to that person. It could be something like herpes. You could be giving them just some other sort of transferable disease. You will go to jail. Look at how he finds out the recourse for his actions here.
Oh. Yeah.
I can hear it, but I
Let me
don't
tell
know.
They are giving this guy the work over behind the video. This is purposeful. This guy stands up in front of the video because this guy just assaulted a law enforcement official. He just spit into his mouth, whether it's covered by a face shield or not, and they are taking him down. I guarantee that every pressure point, every elbow, every knee to the groin, and that's just what's happening while this guy is still out on the streets. You want to think that you are feeling the pressure of what is happening in our country? Go screw around like this and then find out what happens where the cameras cannot record.
Right.
They'll yell, "Stop resisting," and beat the living out of you, and you will have nothing that you can do about it. Your bruises will be seen by a jury of your peers as being justified because you didn't have to be there, and you definitely didn't have to spit in his face.
Exactly. That's true. You didn't have to be there. But this is why this truth is so it acts as a shield, all right, and it's so vital right now, more so than it has. It's just so vital entirely because what he says on point. You don't have to be out there, but at the same time, these devils, man, they are socially engineering people to be out there anyways. Okay, and then then you get attacked, right? And then obviously justice isn't done well for you because, as you said, the jury of your peers will say, "Well, you didn't have to be out there in the first place." But what else are the people to do? They just roll over and get taken, you know. But this is what Esau wants. He wants that again. That civil unrest. This is why it says that the serpent was more subtle than any other beast of the field. Okay, and you know what? Let me get that real quick because how does he do that? Well, his social engineering is a form of witchcraft.
That's right.
Okay, I think that's Genesis 4. No, it's Genesis 3. Yes, so Genesis 3 and 1. Okay, it says, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, including human beings." So this serpent was a human being. It wasn't the actual literal serpent. Okay, but the word serpent is tied to this person because that's how he moved. And when you watch a snake, a serpent, they're very intelligent, highly intelligent. When you think about it, they have no hands, no feet. They have soft skin or a soft body, right? But yet, you know, they'll wait hours on end to hunt their prey, study their prey. That's also the characteristics of Esau Edom. Okay, so at that time he had his pigment. So it says, right, this time he had his pigment. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh power had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, as Yahweh said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. So the point here, oh, look at NLT says it nicer too, actually. It says, the serpent was the shrewdest of all the wild animals that the Lord Yahweh had made. So this devil's shrewd, man.
That's
Okay.
right.
And these people don't even know that they're being orchestrated and engineered to do what they're doing. They think in their mind that they're fighting for themselves, but you're really fighting for Esau's agenda, right? But this truth that we have has broken the strongholds of this devil, all right, this deceiver upon our minds. Okay, but the rest of everybody else, they're caught up in the frenzy.
Because we got a lot.
Yeah, they're giving it to him.
Definitely didn't have to spit in the face.
We're gonna see way more of this.
Keep moving, folks, because we got a lot to cover here. Here is part of the U.S. Pentagon 1500. They're saying they're the 1500 bringers of doom. Now, these 1500 are going to go into major upsetted points of our country. It's going to start with Minneapolis, but I'm telling you right now, it is not going to end major upsetted pointers of doom. Now, these have gone 1500. Let's keep moving, folks, because we got a lot to.
Okay, just want to get some insight on what he's talking about. It says the Pentagon directed 1,500 active duty soldiers to prepare for possible deployment to Minnesota after President Donald Trump threatened to use the Insurrection Act to quell protests against the government's deportation drive. Yep. So
Here is part of the U.S. Pentagon's 1500. We're saying they're the 1500 bringers of doom. Now, these 1500 are going to go into major upsetted points of our country. It's going to start with Minneapolis.
and they're calling them the 1,500 bringers of doom.
See?
I'm telling you right now, it is not going to end with Minneapolis. You're going to see this across New York. You're going to see it across Georgia. You'll see it in Florida if necessary. And some of those governors will be quick to call them in. They'll say, heck yes, bring the boots. Bring that new Venezuelan movement down here. Let's get these protesters puking and bleeding out of their ears and eyeballs in the streets. We just entered. I'm not even going to say we're entering into a new time. We literally entered into it. And this is all happening at state level. When you peel the skin back and you start to see that this disease goes into the bone and into the blood system, you know that what we're doing with Greenland right now, the moves that we are making on Cuba, what's going on with China and Russia, that we are going to be living a life of missions and operations if by some unseen act of this great world, we don't get pulled back from the brink of complete American destruction.
Which won't happen. That will not happen. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse until America is destroyed, aka Babylon the Great, and our Lord and the hopeful are delivered. Okay, because this is prophecy.
That's
Life and existence itself is dictated by the words of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, which are the words of prophecy.
Evils will multiply. Is going to be multiplied 10 times. Well, it tells us.
That's right.
Yeah. So you can't stop this, buddy.
That's right.
I really think that that's coming soon because let me tell you, we have a lot of friends in different areas. A lot of them are both pro-immigration enforcement. A lot of them are law enforcement. And we have a lot of friends who stand way on the other side. And I'm talking about Billy Joe on the other side. A couple of our other friends on the other side, south and the north. They're all saying the same thing. They made a plan. What will they do when the martial law comes? What will they do when ICE is no longer enforcing immigration and they start enforcing maybe gun takeaways? Maybe they start thinking everybody has to show that they don't have a drug on them. That's what they're planning for. An America that is completely embroiled in unrest.
Exactly. America is completely embroiled in unrest. And that's the truth, man.
Okay? The man don't want me to hear.
And you have all these random militias popping out of nowhere, which we know they're not popping out of nowhere. All right. They're being set up there as plants. Agent provocateurs. Like I said, you have the Second Sons over here. Go look that up. The Second Sons in Canada, and then you have now they brought back what's it called? The Black Panthers
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, how? But this is all part of the agenda, and the Lord is working on the minds of the top wicked elite to fulfill prophecy,
That's right.
even if they think they're the ones upsetting prophecy. The deceiver and the deceived are his.
His. We help
So
it.
I'm kind. I got this here in second out of 16 GNT. Um, let's see. Yeah, I'll start at 3. I'm just going to skip around a little bit in this chapter. It says, I am sending war on you, and no one can stop it. I am sending fire on you, and no one can put it out.
Mhm.
I'm setting disasters on you, and no one can stop them from coming. Can anyone stop a hungry lion in the forest and put out a fire that is burning with straw? To turn back an arrow shot by a strong archer,
Mhm.
or turn back an arrow that's shot by a strong archer? When the Lord Yahweh power sends disasters, no one, Yahweh Shemel Shai, no one sends disasters, no one can hold it back.
That's right.
No one can escape the blazing anger of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay, and we'll skip down. Yeah, look at this. It says, verse 14, he has already sent out his disasters towards the earth, and they will not miss their target. The fire has been lit, right? As we're seeing the fire being lit, the Lord also told us, if the fire not be already kindled, what will he, right? The fire has been lit, and it cannot be put out
That's right.
until it burns up the foundation of the
Foundations.
earth, the
That's right.
foundations, water of the earth. Okay, starting with America, Babylon the Great.
That's right.
Okay,
The whore that sitteth upon many waters foundation.
that's right. That's right. All right. It says the disasters are on their way, verse 16,
Mhm.
towards the earth, and like an arrow shot by a strong archer, they cannot be turned back. All right, and I'll keep going. It says, I'm doomed. I am doomed. Who will rescue me in those days? And this is a righteous man screaming this. Okay. It says, troubles will come, and many people will groan. Famine will come, and many will die. Wars will come, and the world powers will tremble. Disasters will come, and everyone will be terrified. What will people do when these disasters come? Damn. Famine, epidemics, troubles, and sufferings are sent to punish and correct people.
Mhm.
But in spite of all this, they will not turn away from their sins. So, what do you think that means? That means it's just going to get even hotter and more wicked and more evil. Because the Most High's words will not turn back to him void. Okay, so it will accomplish what it set out to do.
Mhm.
They soon forget their punishment. The time is coming when food will be. Let me skip down. That's true too, but I want to get the main points here. Damn.
Well, hey,
So
all of those
let's.
crises, those poly crises, will be all happening at once. So,
There you go. Yeah.
whew,
Yeah. Okay, so 36. I'll start at 36. Verse 36, it says, or verse 35. Now listen to my message, you people who serve the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai.
mhm.
It is the Lord's message, so receive it and believe what he says. The disasters are coming or are approaching rapidly. Rapidly. Okay? Very quickly, and a multitude of them at once. That's rapid. So
See?
these disasters are approaching rapidly, and they will not be delayed. A woman in the 9th month of pregnancy may suffer labor pains for several hours. But when the time comes for the baby to be born, there is no longer any delay. In the same way, the disasters that are coming on the earth will not be delayed.
That's right.
And the world will groan when it is caught in its labor pains. So guess what? When you look around you, we're in this time right now. This prophecy is being fulfilled and has been for a couple years now. Labor pains. I could even say decades, really. But the contractions
Mm-hmm.
are now getting closer and closer and closer until it's just boom. It's time for that baby to be born, which means it's time for Yahushua to come back via the destruction of America, Babylon the Great, as well as before that time of temptation, our temptation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is the MOTB, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. All right, so it says here, verse 40, listen to my message, my people, and get ready for the battle, which is a spiritual battle. We're not out there on the streets marching, protesting, all right, getting involved, all right, with the masses. Okay, this is a spiritual battle for the hopeful elect. Listen to my message, my people, and get ready for the battle. When disaster comes, you must live as people whose homes are not in this world. So our minds must be continually and even more so on the kingdom as each day goes by. Merchants must not expect to make profit from what they sell. They must be ready to run for their lives. Their customers must expect to lose whatever they buy.
Right.
Whom whoever builds a house should not plan to live in it. Serious. It says farmers should not expect to harvest their crop or pick their grapes. Those who marry must not expect to have children, and those who don't marry must live as if they had been widowed. And this is how you know it's a message to the hopeful elect, because prophecy dictates that just like in the time of Noah, so will be the time of the Son of Man, as so will be the return of the Son of Man, being Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Which is what were they doing? They were doing the opposite of what is being told to us here in verse 40 on down. Okay, they were given into marriage. Their minds were fully set on their possessions, all right, in this world, and it continuing, not knowing that judgment is right around the corner. All right. So it says, verse 45, anything that is done will be useless. All right. Um, yeah. I'll read verse 48. It says, the more angry the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, will become. Oh, let me start at verse 47. Anyone who makes money will do so only to see it violently taken away. The more possessions people gather, the more they spend on their cities. Yeah, because remember this, hey, all at the same time, we're seeing political turmoil and global intrigues among nations. Guess what's happening? The dollar's tanking. Okay, so there's going to be a financial crash, a global crash. Okay, so anybody who is making money will do so to see it violently taken away. No money, you'll wake up to nothing in your bank account. Okay, the more possessions people gather, the more they spend on their cities and houses, the more attention they give to their personal appearance, the more angry the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai will become with them because of their sin. This is what the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai says. Just as a respectable woman despises a prostitute, so righteousness despises sinfulness, no matter how attractive it may look. Righteousness will expose every sin in the world and condemn it face to face when her defender comes. So do not imitate sinfulness or what it does. For in a very short time, sinfulness will be swept out of the world and righteousness will rule among us. Okay?
That's right.
That's it on that.
Beautiful.
The whole chapter is good, but this is the time we're in.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Well, yeah, I just got one precept because you brought up a powerful point. I have one precept, powerful point. You brought it up. What the position and the mindset of the elect, right? In the spirit, knowing that this is not our rest, and when these things come about, okay. So I'm going to go to Wisdom 3:1. If if you have more left, I'm not sure if you have more left.
No, that's it.
That's it. This is my final one on that because there's several places to go on it, but I'm just going to bring this one out. Yeah, I'm going to bring that one out. Slakia, I'm going to go to Wisdom of Solomon. There's so many here. 5 and 15, right? In regards to rest and the righteous. So, if you can get it, yeah, because I got so much screens up in here. 5 and 15. Right.
All right.
Beautiful. It says, but the righteous live forevermore. As a matter of fact, can you go up to verse 14, just for a little context for folks at home? And here's real quick. It says, for the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as a smoke which is dispersed here and there. Right? They are nothing. Wow. As though it's as though they never existed. Wow. With a tempest.
Right. And they really never did.
Straight. Wow. It says like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there, which is with a tempest, and passeth away as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. Beautiful.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, because really the rulership of these of the wicked is short, has been short.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Half a day, right?
Yeah, that's right. Straight. And here's the point, and this is where the elect will be. The Lord will have his elect. It says, but the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. So yes, our rest is right there. Our rest is with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? Him delivering us, right? With judgment, of course, and mercy, right?
Right.
Always. That's it. And they can, you folks, you can go into the rest of this chapter. It's beautiful, but I just wanted to bring out the point about this is not our rest. Our rest is, with the Lord in the kingdom. Simply put, yeah.
That's right. Beautiful. Okay.
Which are
so
these?
Yeah, that's it, man.
Which are these scriptures? The living, the living word. Go ahead, brother. That's it.
Yeah. So that's it. All right. Hey, man. So much to be said, more than what's already been said for decades. Okay. So, Lord willing, this was straightforward and edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Okay. We're going to close by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rafa Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught his word in truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 that's pushing his word as well in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right. Abba, Chama Shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shalom to the hopeful elect.